unity of the country. Jammeh went on national television and addressed the nation and addressed his counterpart in Senegal that if the bullet repeats again, he will retaliate. That was said and done from 2009 till he left the seat of power. But when this government came, what they promised the Gambian people, and if I could also reflect back, these were messages as the former president said when he conceded defeat to Barrow, that don't compromise with the security of this country. If only this advice Barrow took, I think the Gambia could have seen a better footing in terms of territorial integrity. You know, when it happens, 2017 till date, Foni is just like Toro Bora Mountain. You know the war of Afghanistan and the Americans, where cells would be landing, bullets all over, crisscrossing. You know, this is what happened in Foni. And I will give you one snapshot of the danger that is looming in this end, where we have the National Security Advisor who is paying a deaf ear to the issue of Foni. And I can say it loud and clear. I've said it in Parliament yesterday, and I'll repeat it here. We also have the Defense Minister who is paying a deaf ear into the issue of Foni. It's a looming crisis. And also we have the Commander-in-Chief, that is President Barrow, who is also paying a deaf ear in the issue of Foni. And again, we also have the Intelligence Chief, National Intelligence Agency, where they also have a base. They also have a regional base in Foni, in Buyam, who are paying a deaf ear into this crisis. Because when it happens, 2017, 18, 19, I am telling you, and the scenario is coming, where when the fight breaks, this crazy fight that is currently going in Foni is caused by the Senegalese forces who are stationed in Foni. And I do say this. When they pursue a lorry, the checkpoint, the Senegalese soldiers in Buyam checkpoint, they pursued a truck lorry with loaded timbers to the borderline. The villagers in Balen told them, as you are moving this side, you are heading to the territory of rebel base. They didn't pay heed. If you could remember, I think research base, where ECOWAS and the Senegal and the government signed a workforce to see how best they could see. So Senegalese lost. And again, also, it committed ECOWAS to mediate with the rebel leader, where some of the Senegalese soldiers were taken from the rebels and returned back to Senegal. So when that happened, the Macky government came with an all-out war. That is, they must flush the rebels in the rebel base within the borderline region. But now the danger behind is, you know, from the other part of Senegal, you have the Senegalese forces.
Yes.
And in the middle, you have the rebels in Casamance. And in the other part, you also have the Gambian National Army who are patrolling the border. Then along the roadside of Brikama Soma Highway, you have the Senegalese base who had their military base and their military checkpoint. So the danger behind is 2017, 18, 19, you know, a war erupted where I'm telling you for facts. The rebels came and took over a Gambian village in Brikama Soma Highway, that is Bajagar, with their arms and ammunition, ready to attack the Buyam military garrison of Senegalese force and that of Kanilai. So the Senegalese soldiers in that end had to seek refuge in Kanilai. They had to run away. It was the Gambian soldiers, the 4th Infantry Battalion who are based in Kanilai, with the commander Omar Bojang. They came to broke peace with the rebels, used their military tactics, convinced the rebels, and the rebels went back to Casamance. So look at this. Senegalese are fighting the rebels in the other part of Senegal. But Senegalese soldiers also are in the Gambia. So when the rebels knew this, they came to Bajagar and take ownership of the village. They take ownership of Trans-Gambia Highway. That day, no vehicles from Brikama, neither Soma will pass. They take refuge, and they were targeting the military base in Buyam. So it was only the Gambian soldiers who rescued this country, not the Senegalese economic soldiers. Because for me, I do tell them, Colonel Njai in 2017, when Aruna Jada was killed, he said publicly that the Senegalese soldiers in Foni are not economic soldiers. And we stand by that. So generally, when that happened, you realize that the move shifted. The Gambian soldiers came and negotiated with the rebels to leave our territory, to go back to their rebel base in Casamance. Then this was why the Senegalese, with all their powerful and arsenals, they had to seek refuge in the other part of Kanilai. They left the checkpoint in Buyam. When the Gambian neutralized and make sure they convinced the rebels and went back, it happens. So in 2024, 1st of January, when the bombardment were continuing, and this led to the effect of killing Dua Bachi of Gilamfari. He was killed in the Gambia and taken to Senegal. For 40 days, his dead body was nowhere to be seen. It is us, the National Assembly members of Foni. We had a rendezvous meeting with the Commander-in-Chief, that is the CDS, the Defense Minister, and all institutions within the purview of security, that what is going in Foni is enough. We sent messages in 2018. Sorry, when we came 2022, we petitioned the president. These are facts that I'm saying. When we petitioned the president, putting salient issues, the death of Aruna Jata, women who are affected by the war, the issues of girls who are impregnated in Foni, the issue of children who are not going to school, the issue of schools adhering to a number of students because of the fear of war. And again also, I could say this, since colonial 1965 till Jammeh's era, we've never had Gabege been pushed because of a war. Grade 9 exams were halted because of the war of Casamas. So when it happens, we put, as parliamentarian, we petition Barrow. I can tell you, we went and sat with President Barrow for more than 3 hours in the issue of our petition. What we were given is, I will contact my justice minister, I will contact the defense minister, I will do this, and I will get back to you. We made follow-up to no avail. But what we did was, in 2024, 1st of January, before that, we sent a message that enough is enough for Foni, and we are going to stage a massive demonstration. From Block to Kalaji, no vehicle will pass. We want Senegalese to excuse us. We want Foni to be seen that it is not a rebel base. Foni is part of Gambia, and they deserve what other people in Mankunda and other cohort villages are receiving. So when we happened now, this is where we were called by the defense minister and all the security apparatus. 1st of January 2024, we went on a tour for them to see from themselves what we are saying, whether it's true or not. I can tell you from Foni Bintan, cells will be landing in our own Gambian soil. The government will not even take any action. Soldiers in the borderline will seek refuge when cells are landing, after which they will come and advise the village, you don't do this, and they'll now use their arms or whatever means to remove those cells and also remains of pebbles of cells that are landing in Foni and bullets. So when it happens by 1st of January 2004, we went. The CDS was present with us, all the 5 names of Foni, the defense minister, IGP, National Security Advisor, all Security Council. We went on patrol, village to village. We saw them animals that were killed, vulnerable houses that were bombarded with cells landing in Foni. We pray our Isha prayer in Kanilai by 9 at night from morning. And our end route was in Kanilai, where we went to the bigger house where soldiers' remains of cells, bullets that had landed in Foni were packed. We told them, it is now see for yourself. Whatever we are saying in Foni is not hearsay. They know, they saw, they see it. We went to the ground, and where even a horse or a donkey was even brutalized and almost paralyzed by cells from Senegal in a village called Karangalbrata. The former defense minister, Seri Modu, was present. We saw it for our eyes. They saw it. The IGP saw it. Intelligence saw it. National Security Advisor saw it. Ministers responsible, they all saw it, both interior and defense. So this is not hearsay. The issue of Foni is at a crossroad. Now when that happens, we told you these are signals. And a signal is coming. And the funniest part is, whenever war occurs in Casamance, the Senegalese soldiers in Foni will be in combat. Combat means ready for war. What are they signaling? In the Gambia, they are in combat nature. You are in the Gambian soil. You say you're protecting the Gambians, not Senegalese, not Casamance people. In the front part of Senegal, Casamance, you have the Senegalese forces. In the middle, you have the rebels. And along the border, you have our Gambian soldiers who are patrolling. And along the highway of Gambia, you have Senegalese base. And when one war erupts, they are in combat rest. Sometimes you see them standing on the highway. What are they defending? In the Gambia, they said they are economic soldiers. They are only protecting the internal issues of the country, but instead involving in the internal affairs of our country. And that shows a signal. And the other part that we are saying, and I want to be very clear, the war in Casamance is not a Gambian war. It's not a Foni war. We made it to our people very clear that don't involve in any issue of Casamance. And we do also go around to villages and inform them that whatever you see that is not abnormal, report to the soldiers in Kanila, or report to the police or immigration or any forces that you could see. Let's remove ourselves from the issue of Casamance. Now, in the long run, we are hearing that the government said there are intelligence that are showing that Foni is harboring rebels. I can tell them. We have the intelligence, National Intelligence Agency in the Gambia. We've not seen any report. The intelligence of this country say. Neither the police or the army say. So if they depend their intelligence report with Senegal, it's a joke. Because we believe that our border is not manned by the Foni people. Our border should be manned by immigration, the police, and the intelligence, and the military. So if they fail to do the responsibility, we cannot go to villages or compounds or houses and now say, we are fetching rebels. You are a rebel. How do you identify them if the government is really serious? And the saddest part of all, with all these bombardments and selling that is doing in Foni, when we went 21st of January 2024, they told us, all the Security Council, I am saying this, and I want them to repeat this. They told us that they will send a report and communicate back to us and communicate to the people of Gambia what they saw. Villages, you see, big holes, houses were destroyed by cells, families ran away, destruction of animals, some cells even kill animals, alright? Dua was shot dead. And we even went to the area where Dua was killed. You could even see the split of blood. The way they drag him to Casamance, as if it is a wheelbarrow or a bag that is not a wasted that they want to throw on the Kotu Kware dumping site. We saw all these things. And now the government could not even follow to know where the dead body of Dua was. We told them. And we went and met with the defense minister and all security forces. Compensation of a small chunk of money, we will retaliate and will get up for our right. They informed President Barrow, 50,000 whatever, he compensated the family of 1 million, 1.3 million. That's why he compensated the family. And in the burial day of Dua, we have to secure the ministers with all the security, because we knew, the people knew that the government is not serious about the issue of food. After the burial, we told them the truth. After the burial, they told us. We went to a report to ascertain his death. We have evidence of all those medical reports. From the killing that happens in the border in Karuno, those 3 young kids who they allege that they are not Gambians. After me producing those documents at the National Assembly, educated, otherwise finished school in Penyan, you know. So when they rebut and say, no, these are refugees. You know, the issue that we have as Gambians is, they will see things right, but they will associate issues not being Gambian in order for them to run away. As a government, you should be responsible to take ownership of whatever had happened. So I just made them to talk, you know, defense minister, interior, whatever, came out all with Jambore statements saying, you know, they are not Gambians. In this assembly, I produce national ID cards saying that, you see, I produce passport as old as they are. I produce, I think 2 of them was a week or 2 born in the hospital. That's the time they got their birth certificate. So they are left dumb. They don't have anything to say, but instead to become quiet. So all these are happenings that had gotten Foni. But the worst recent happening in Foni Bintan Kanana had left families not to even attend Eid al-Fitr prayers. School-going children, schools closed yesterday, Wednesday, for Easter. But I'm telling you, schools in Foni closed a week or 2 ago. Because what? The cells that are landing in primary schools. I can tell you, you know Sibano?
Yes.
The primary school of Sibano is after the Brikama Summer Highway. Now imagine kilometers of 20, 40 almost 15 kilometers from the border, or more than that, I can even say. Cells will emanate all the way from Senegal, or bullets will emanate all the way from Senegal and land in compounds in Sibano, and land in primary school, Sibano basic cycle. Bullets will land there. That has seek attention to the headmistress to close the school. The like of Kappa in Foni Council, all those borderline schools are closed. Because of what? Fear. Because you will not have a full agronomic learning environment when cells are landed. You there rescue the kids. Close. And gardens in Sibano, women who are making ends meet, all those gardens, bullets will land in those gardens. And the funny part of it, with all these issues that are happening, you will never even see a press release from the government saying, yes, we all know that this has happened, but this is our message. None of those issues are even mentioned by our Gambian government. Instead, the funny part that we see is we saw a customer security border security alert by an institution that is just a baby, a new institution in the Gambian legislation. I think 1 year or so, we enacted this law in the National Assembly called the National Early Warning and Response Mechanism Coordination Center. In their press release that they sent to the Gambian people about the issue going in the borderline, if I could get to one of the, it says the Gambia presents its compliments to the public and wishes to draw urgent attention to the evolving security situation along the Casamas borderline. The recent confrontation between the Senegalese armed forces and the elements of MFDC of Casamas have heightened tension in the region, with direct implication of the border communities within the Foni. Preliminary reports indicate that the ongoing hostility have resulted in population displacement from following Casamas communities. You see now? They are now saying villages in the Gambia are Casamas communities. They are, it's a Jakin, it's a Gambian village. Kamosor is a Gambian village, but they say it's Casamas. Batendeng, Ajapine is a Gambian village, they said Casamas. Kayenga and Jifanga. All these villages are Gambian villages. Some of them are even far from the border. But we have the National Early Warning and Response Mechanism Coordination, NCCRM, saying that they are Gambian villages. It's just the same thing that when those 3 sons of Gambia were killed, they prompted and said they are Senegalese. I went on to the National Assembly and brought a matter of the day in rebuting and making inform the Gambian government, including the commander-in-chief, that he is sitting on a timing bomb on issues of Foni. I can tell you for now, vulnerability is far imaginable in the issue of Foni. Women's garden, they don't go to water their garden. Schools are closed. Families are living in a terrifying environment. Internal displaced person. Not because we are from Casamas, but because we live in the border, but because we are Gambian, but because we are neglected by this government. Until date, only National Early Warning Response Mechanism send this press release. President Barrow, we all had him. If, for example, he's a serious president and he's a president for all, I will say it. If he is a president for all, he could have used the Tobaski message and informed the Gambian people. As we are celebrating, we have another region that is volatile with issues of whatever. And these are measures that we are taking as a government. He went and used the Eid al-Fitr politically with Jambore statements of what he has passed the 3 years, who advised him, and what he wanted to. That's not the message.
How is that silence, being interpreted by the people in Foni?
No, the silence is just like we find it as a norm, because all these scams that happens in the border region, President Barrow has not equivocally came and now sent a strong statement warning the Senegalese government. And also Commander-in-Chief saying, your cells are landing in Foni. Bullets are crisscrossing in Foni. Can you halt it off? I can tell you, it was here when Peter even used a news headline. It was my question and answer with the then defense minister. Sent a signal that we will not compromise the territorial integrity of the country. Later on, The Minister of Defense rebutted and said they didn't say it in Parliament.
So what, in your view, should the government be doing right now, both domestically and diplomatically, that is to protect border communities and reassure the nation?
Because the problem that I see is this government term as if their survival, remaining in power, and security depends on Senegal. Any action that they take to inform the Senegalese authority of heinous issues that are going in Foni, the diplomatic arena of them having forces in the Gambia, will end up, staggering something. Either they say, okay, we will withdraw, or we will no more have the Senegalese here. So this is why they are not coming all out to inform the Gambian people. Instead, they are only talking, if you go there, okay, we'll take note, whatever, sending soldiers. Gambian soldiers, when sets are landed, they'll be hiding. Ill-equipped in the border. Our Gambian soldiers are ill-equipped in the border, they'll be hiding. When sets land, they'll go to the villages and they remove and pack it in Kanila. There is a house full of these remains of cells, bullets that are packed. And the National Security Council, they saw in their naked eyes, in front of us, we saw to them, any area cell landed in Foni, we visited and they saw it. Destruction of animals, animal kill, compounds that are hit by bullets, all this they knew. The then Security Council. Nobody will say that they're full. Some of them, we do go through foot. Some other area, we enter the bush, show them the borderline, demarcations of the borderline, they saw. And I'm telling you, from Block to Kalaji, all those areas, we have full-fledged demarcated borderline. All demarcated borderline. So the crisscross and saying that, okay, you are in the border, or not in the border, or outside the border, is all seen and felt. But the rationale behind all this thing is fear of either the Senegalese will remove their soldiers here, or I will not be protected, because he doesn't have the trust and confidence of the Gambian soldiers. Because today, if you go to a state house, the person who will clear you to meet your president is a Senegalese. The person who will clear you will speak French to you, or will speak Wolof to you. A country that gains its independence in 1965. It has never happened in Jawara, neither Jame. It happens in Barrow for almost 10 good years. And even he wants election, the Senegalese will remain here and take control of our state house.
So beyond the immediate crisis, what long-term measures do you believe are necessary to ensure that communities in Foni are no longer living at the mercy of a conflict that is not of their making?
First, in our resolution that we passed the petition to the president, if I had heard that, what is the rationale of Senegalese occupying Foni? They are occupational forces. They are not peace brokers. They are occupational forces. Because the reason why I say so, when war is erupted in Senegal, they are in combat ready. Any soldier that you ask about what is combat ready, it means a soldier who is ready to go to the battlefield. They will leave their stations and be around vulnerable within the key areas as if they are manning to defend the Gambian territory. It is our Gambian soldiers who are in the front line. At the back side of the Gambia, you have Senegalese who are there. In the middle, you have the rebels. And in the far front, you also have the Senegalese forces. What I'm just saying is, in our resolution, we suggested, hence they said economic soldiers are in the Gambia. Why can't we have the Nigerian contingent to replace the Senegalese in Foni? The moment you raise that, you'll see the eyebrows swing. That instead, there is an interest, but not an interest of protecting the region. Because they believe, I don't know what will be the deal. Whether they have a deal with Maki and saying, Senegalese control Foni, or the fear of controlling Foni. We said, if you really want sanity to grow in Foni, let's have the Nigerian soldiers to take areas in Foni. And we move Senegalese where Nigerians are. Ghanaians are in the other side. Or Ghanaians comes where Senegalese are, then the Senegalese goes to where the Ghanaians are. These were issues that we have been pushing. But you realize that they don't have interest. And the vested interest is they want to collaborate with the Gambian government to flush the rebels. In as much as they want to do that, it's not our interest. Our interest is for Foni, is we want sanity, we want peace. And the projectiles, the cells, the bombardment, or the bullets that are landing in Foni, we want this government to take a measure. We don't want those cells to be landing, or bullets to be landing in Foni. Even if the Gambian government wants, they can use Gambian armed forces to go and join with the Senegalese forces to fight the rebels. It's not our business. Our business, as what we Fonyinkas are asking is, we don't want cells emanating from Senegal, bullets emanating from Senegal, to either kill our people or kill our animals, destroy our buildings, give fear to our women in the garden. This is what we are asking this government. And this had also propelled for me to come with the man of the day, to address the house. And that day when I brought that, you see a lot of concerns. But the other cohort group, I do tell you, the Terika for the NPP and their bandwagons, for them, they will only seal issues of the president, even it's bad. We all know what is white, can never be black. And what is black, can never be white. I told them, why is it that when Jammeh took over in 1994, he didn't put barricades or he didn't even send security forces in Barajali, neither even in Jawra's home compound in Fajara. But immediately they took over, it was the first front. They put Senegalese soldiers at SSP in Brikama. Me, then I told them, all this pushing, they are emanating to Foni. And not only Foni alone, Foni Council, that is the middle of Foni. They came to Bajaga. The Bajaga people say, we don't want you here. Finally, they settled in Foni Council. And from their settlement in Foni's havoc, terrorization, the first casualty of a death for this government, and I know a TRRC will be constituted after Barrow leaves, is Aruna Jata. Aruna was bloodily murdered just to peacefully demonstrate and saying that we don't want you people here. We want you people to go. Enough of humiliation, enough of terrorizing our people, enough of affection that we are facing as a region. His only crime was demonstrating, and he was shot dead in cold blood. Do you know what this government also do? After his death, we went to process. His death certificates were acquired. Everything was done normal. Only 2-3 days, all the contingent that came were taken back to Senegal free of charge, returned, and they brought new people and said you can continue staying. Meaning, they are now saying the killers of Arrajata go safe. Return back to your destination. Job well done. It was done by this government. And if they are repeating and say they don't do that, we are asking why is it delaying the issue of justice for Arrajata? I've laid parliamentary to the defense minister, interior minister, to the president himself, to no avail. Just as we did with the Jammeh assets. But I know when the people rise, they have to succumb to pressure. And this government doesn't know anything. And as of yesterday, I put it to, in my debate to the to the vice president, saying that this is our last discussion of issue of Foni. And for us, we'll never relent it. I put it to him that if the government is not ready to protect the people of Foni, we will protect ourselves. And our protection will depend on what we'll use to do a protection for ourselves. And it will be determined by the people of Foni, irrespective of our political affiliation. If the government is still saying a deaf ear, if it was Manka Mankunda, Barrow will act. If it was a cell today, a cell landed at Makati Square, or United Second Square, they name it, or you name it, whatever name that they are giving it now, or even in the capital city in Banjul, a cell broke there. You think the president will not act? You think the president will not send a statement? If it was a blown cell in Manka Mankunda, wouldn't he act? Look at the, the Rahmatas game that they have did in the issue of, Usainu Boja. An innocent boy. They paid a woman who came falsely out. 1 million was withdrawn from our account, our government money. 1 million was given when it's not even solidified. So these are all charges, because if issues happen, we could have seen change. And henceforth, the National Disaster Management Agency, with all this displacement, I've not seen them going to Foni. It is the Foni families who are managing on their own to make sure, Aji, you are from my family, Musa, you are from my family, come and take refuge here.
Honorable, let's turn now to the other issue you want to address in this interview, and that's the President's State of the Nation address delivered in the National Assembly last week, which caused a problem involving you. First, explain what happened and why.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's a very good thing for me to clarify. And I think it's only dumb people who doesn't understand how a parliament, how does a parliament work, the process and procedures in Parliament works. As a Parliament is a house of its own, independent house of its own, just like the executive